In today's video, I'll be interviewing my boy Evil. I'm gonna send him some samples that I've made. He's gonna put some drums on them, make some beats out of them, and I'm gonna pick his brain on his creative process. Let's get right into the video. I'm here with my boy Evil. Bro, introduce yourself. Tell us about where you're from, how long you've been making music, all that kind of stuff.
Well, like he said, my name's Evo. I'm from Pennsylvania. I've been making music for like around 6 years, but really sample making and like taking it more seriously for like probably for the last like 2 years. And yeah, man.
So I sent him over like 4 samples. He picked one of them. He's just gonna drum them up, and then while he does that, I'm gonna pick his brain on his process and how he makes beats.
All right, yeah, I went for the Waiting on Us sample. This one I could hear like a little drum bounce on it. So
The first question is, how do you even come up with your drum bounces? Like, do you have what's your process for coming up with a drum bounce?
yeah, so like I feel like sometimes it's like some I might hear right away, but I would say 80% of the time it's just like I'm just like starting to click stuff in, or I'm putting in like a maybe even a percussion loop, like started with like percussion loop, maybe chop that up. 80% of the time it's just like just do random stuff and see what sticks. Like I feel like most of the time I'm not really going in with like a plan or something. Yeah, I just listen through the sample just so I can like find like my favorite part that I want to drum. I feel like a lot of times too, like I like flip samples just so I can like hear a different bounce. But I think for this one, we're just gonna keep it the same for now, and I might flip like a little bit later. You know what I mean? Yeah, I'm gonna loop this part just so I can drum this out, and then we'll arrange it later. Should I go playlist drums or do I go arrangement drums?
Do playlist it, because I was gonna ask about that as well. So when you do put your drums in the playlist, what inspires you to do that?
So I feel like I'll like randomly choose what I want to do. Like sometimes I'll just do it in the drum rack. Sometimes I'll do it in the arrangement. But honestly, I've been really messing with like these like textured sounds, and that's what I've been using a lot lately. And that's like kind of what's in my kit too. And I like to chop up like the texture sounds and stretch them out and like chop them up. And I feel like you can do that so much easier on the arrangement view. I don't know, you can get like really meticulous with it. But I do think doing the drum rack though is just like it's better if you just want to get down an idea like quicker, you know what I mean?
Definitely.
It's like nice to be able to like go through this and be like very meticulous about like where I want each note to be. Like for this, I might even like just push this over, and it's just like so much easier to do in here than in like the drum rack, you know what I mean? I always like started with percussion, and I might even just like add in a kick like at the beginning and then just build percussion around it. I'll tell you some sauce for everybody out here. Pitching down your kicks and like stretching them create like a really cool like texture with your kicks. And I like doing this like at the end of the pattern. You gotta turn it up a little bit though. Just like way deeper. And then you can like stretch and make it like really sound crazy. I feel like the same way you approach sample making, I approach drums. Like this like may not sound the same in like 10 minutes, you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. Also, another question for anyone who like makes drum kits themselves or wants to get into it at least, How do you make the drum sounds for your kits? What's your process?
I have like 3 methods for making drums. First of all, like you can synthesize drums like with like Serum or something, and that's like obviously is gonna take a lot more like time to do. And I really only do that with like kicks, 808s, and like maybe just for like some white noise for like snares and like claps and hi-hats and stuff. The second process that I do most of the time is I'll like go out to like a random place, or you can go to your room and just like record sounds in, just like hitting random stuff. Or like what I really learned from like the design process, like you can turn anything into a drum and then run it through effects, run it through like chop it up, do all that kind of stuff, and you can create some really crazy sounds. And then like the third basket that I use for like drums, I was like, I'll take like known sounds that are like super fire already, or that I think maybe could have some beefing up, and I'll take a lot of those recordings that I did like in the field of like the percussion and stuff, and I'll start like layering that with like sounds that are already fire, you know what I mean?
Damn, bro.
And I think another thing too is like once you already have like some good sounds, like these kicks are pretty good, I can start layering like different effects and different like percussions and like Foley sounds and just like random stuff on stuff I already have made, and you can kind of just get like infinite sounds by doing that, you know what I mean?
That's sauce, dude. That's like what, 4 methods you said to make drums? Fuck.
And a lot of times I'll like create a pattern like this and it sounds like stupid, but then I'll start like taking some of these out and then replacing them with like other sounds.
Fire.
Like it doesn't work all the time, but because sometimes like the bounce is just different, but I'll like just create something like this. And like as you add stuff in, like you start to hear like, all right, this is too much, and you start taking stuff out, you know what I mean?
Besides your own kits, what are some other people's kits you like to use?
Like there's like a monthly rotation. Like sometimes I'll like spam one kit, sometimes I'll spam another kit another month. But like I feel like the main ones lately, the Angelo Amani kit, Sound Pack 3. It's got some fire drums in it. The Drakey kit, this one is fire. This one's like good for like more like industry sounds. Like I might even just use this one right now. Just get like a regular hi-hat. I would say like those two are like the ones I reach for the most. Low key. And obviously like Johnny Wood kits. So crazy. If you guys aren't tapped in, you gotta be tapped in.
Johnny's fire.
And like I love using different hi-hats too. Not bad, not bad.
This is fire. This is top, dude.
And this sauce too, right here. This plug-in. Put on the master. So I feel like this is a pretty decent bounce, pretty spacey. Now I'm just gonna see like how it fits in with the rest of the sample as well. And I always say this in my videos too, like to make fire drums, it always starts with the sample. Like you can't put fire drums on like a trash sample. You know what I mean?
Exactly, bro.
She got a little like preset right here.
Do you ever send your beats to any artists at all?
Not really, to be honest. Like a couple, but I'll just be making shit for fun, to be honest.
Well, like indie artists?
Yeah, like I work with a couple artists. Most of the time though, I don't know, a lot of them are producers too. I'll send them samples too. But I feel like a lot of the beats I make don't really see the light of day.
You just make them for fun.
And I like, you know, sometimes it's just like nice to switch it up from sample making, putting some drums on some, because it could really get stale after a while if you're just like making samples the whole time. It's also nice to just like test out your samples with drums too, and I feel like that's what I do a lot of times. And a lot of times I don't even export any of the beats I make, which is like kind of a bad habit. I'll just like have this like sit in a project for like ever and not do anything with it. So like, don't listen to me. Definitely send your stuff out. I feel like we can change the bounce up a little bit here. Or maybe change out the rim to like a snare maybe. This part is so crazy. And I'll say the one thing that is annoying about the playlist is like mixing sometimes, because you gotta like come in here. This is what I always do. Like, this is some sauce. Go to macros, go purge unused audio clips, and then the only ones that we're using are gonna be right here. I always go right here and then hit, I'm pretty sure it's like Alt L or something, and you put them all on mixer tracks like that. And it's really all about mixing now.
crazy.
What's your take on FL11 versus like the new FLs? Like, do you think the drums hit harder on FL11, or do you think it's kind of just like it doesn't make any sense? Like, the drums hit hard on every version equally.
Yeah, see, that's a great question, and maybe I'm not the right guy for this question, but I'm gonna be honest. I feel like a lot of people that say that the drums hit harder on FL11 are just saying it for purely nostalgic reasons, and they're just giving an excuse to use FL11 for some reason. Cause like I don't know. I don't know if that's a bad take, but it's like, why use FL11 when like FL, what are we on, like 43, like FL93 is just better. You know what I mean? It's just like objectively just better in terms of everything else.
Yeah, because like Wheezy and OZ and all like the bigger producers use FL11 still. I guess for
I know
that
it's
reason.
crazy. I know it's crazy. I don't understand it, but listen, they got more money than me. They got more motion than me. They make better beats than me. So like, you know, whatever they say, that shit goes, bro. Nah, but for real though, like, just use the new one. Like, and especially for like sample makers, for like, I'm more of a sample maker too. It's like, it doesn't even make sense to use like FL11 to make samples.
Yeah, sample
It's just
making
not
on
as, like,
FLs, like the later versions of FL are so much easier.
so much easier. So it's like, I'm not gonna switch versions. And honestly, I don't even think it changes the sound, but I don't know. Maybe my ears aren't trained like those guys.
If you want to learn how to make samples like the ones I sent to him today, you could learn using the Vox Academy kit, link in description. If you also want to get the drum sounds that he used to make the beats today, you could also get his kits, link in description as well. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.